Thanks for tuning in again to It Will Run. I didn't even know if I was gonna do this video or talk about this van. I didn't know how I was gonna talk about this van and the situation. This Econoline build, rule number one, at any time, this thing can be returned to stock condition, or at least the way that it was when I pulled in the driveway for the first time. And it probably shouldn't say it at any time. It'd probably take me a few months to do it, but I'm going to have any parts that either this van was missing when I bought it, things that I need in order to do the build, or things that I'm going to cut and alter and fabricate cannot destroy the integrity of this van. And I need backup parts. So that meant that I was either going to have to locate all these parts individually on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and through networking and junkyards, or find a van that had all the parts that I needed, all my backup parts or all the parts that this one is missing, and find one where it's rusted out. I was hoping I could find one that was trashed, maybe didn't have an engine. So I found just the van on Facebook Marketplace up in Michigan. I went up and picked it up, and it has 95% of the parts that I need on it. At first sight, it seems like this is a van that should be saved, not used for parts. But it's got frame issues. Man, it is straight. It was repainted. Somebody spent a lot of money on having it repainted. Somebody really did great work repainting it and replacing all the rockers. It's 3-speed on the tree, which I left it in gear. I need this seat base. This passenger seat sits over at an angle. I need that. Probably take this doghouse just in case. Take the headliner, use it as a template. And I didn't notice it's missing up top here. you'll notice on some of these shots that you can tell that there was a rock guard added to the rocker, like a protective paint, but it's also used to hide where they welded in the replacement panels. And then also there was work done up around underneath the battery tray and that fender where they're all rusted out. This one had the same treatment, and you can see seam sealer in there and rivets and screws. But mostly the reason that this thing wasn't selling was because the steering gearbox was rusted off of the frame, as well as the radius arm bracket or mount where the bushings mount was rusted off of the frame. every bolt, screw, bushing, everything was seized on this. I sprayed it for days. I had 2 weeks to, this is my buddy's driveway, and he was nice enough to let me use his driveway and his electricity for a couple weeks while he was out of town, and just said, you know, feel free, but just have it gone before I get home. I don't want to know that you did it in my driveway. And so when it came down to getting it stripped, and then I started going to junkyards and showing them pictures, and they were like, hey, there's nothing left of this thing. And there was no title. So not having a title kind of leaves you with limited options as far as who's willing to buy it, or where you can, how you can scrap it, or, you know, sell it to junkyards. So the only way this beautiful green paint was going to be utilized was that I got on the Facebook second gen Econoline page and said, hey, if anybody wants to come with a flatbed and drag this thing up, you can have it. It's all yours. But there's no title, and I'm keeping every single piece off of it for a little while. And there were no takers. So second gen owners, enthusiasts, historians, please examine the evidence that I've put forth before you. Have mercy on my soul. Please see that the rust and the cancer that attacked this beautiful green beast was not my doing. I didn't store it that way. I didn't store it in tall grass or a moist barn or whatever happened to this thing. But I'm saving every single good piece on it. If you happen to, by some chance, by some weird chance, if you happen to recognize this van, or a family member owned it, please, I can think of no reason why you should be watching this. There's nothing good that's going to come out of it. No good memories. No good feels here. So, there's no easy way to put this, but we got to cut up a body.